folks.
It's a real thing.
The Edge Morning Show.
We're now in the approach phase. Everything looking good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Welcome to the Edge Morning Show.
With Chris Knight, Eric Johnson, Fox 2's Faust, and Tabitha Hassell.
The Edge starts now.
Let's get up.
Get up!
I set my alarm for this.
Come! We have a show to do!
Is this every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday.
How do you do it? How do you do it?
Smart, talented.
I'm very talented.
And very humble.
All right, yeah, enough of the jibber jabber.
Enough with the jibber jabber.
Let the show begin. It's showtime.
No jibber jabber here. Keep the jibber jabber down. I had a producer in Detroit who used to say that when you had to get it from a story to a story. Keep the jibber jabber down. No jibber jabber.
Yeah, Tabitha.
Which means chat. Jibber jabber.
Keep the jibber jabber
I'm
down,
going to
Tabitha.
be jibber jabbering when Eric gets here.
Jibber jabbering. Oh.
Is Eric coming in today?
Keep
He
that.
is.
And by
He's
the way,
coming in to spread his COVID to us.
keep the door open so the circulation goes so that we're not trapped with his COVID disease. He is kind of, he's always.
He really doesn't have COVID, does he?
He's always been sick. Always. Like 6 or 7 times since I've known him.
I think this is his 6th COVID infection.
Damn.
You say COVID more than anybody I know.
That's why I told him the antibody
we
test.
got somebody in here who's had COVID more than anybody, Eric, and somebody who's tested more than anybody, Tabitha.
Hey, it's experimental testing for the good of all mankind.
You are a science project. That is 100% sure.
And you know what? And I have proven through my testing that I still, after 9 months, have a high level of COVID antibodies in my system.
You are a case study.
That is
for
right.
sure. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. You're listening to The Edge, the one and only fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. We love it. You guys love it. We appreciate it. We had almost 700 comments yesterday on the Facebook line. Just another day on The Edge. It's what we've been doing for a long time. We're not a Johnny-come-lately. We get the stuff done. We separate fact from fiction. We talk all things, and we appreciate you joining the show every day because you make it. Thank you for sharing the show on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. And, of course, you can always listen to us wherever you go at at viperrocks.com. Once again, viperrocks.com. And we've got phone lines open today. If you want to share some time with us, 636-695-2915, 636-695-2915. Coming up at 8:25, Tim Fitch is going to give us a call in, St. Louis County Councilman, just for an update on where they sit in the county, because last night, Lisa Clancy, councilwoman, one of the two who has been trying to push for a mask mandate in St. Louis County, brought a new mask mandate, tying it to vaccination rates and a 70% vaccination rate. Something's up, because I guarantee Sam Page and Lisa Clancy and Kelly Dunaway all knew that there was no way in hell that was passing attached to a 70% vaccination rate.
They're just wasting more taxpayer money.
Well, something's going on, and that's what's questioned. Why? Why would Sam Page allow this to happen? I don't know. He knows that was not going to pass. Not a chance in hell. However, I was told yesterday if Sam would give some data to Shalonda Webb and Rita Days Heard about why or what is actually going on, that they would probably vote in favor of a mandate. But if what
obviously
he's saying,
he doesn't have the data to support his claims.
They're refusing to give data to county council. All you have to do is give the data. It's so simple. And when you don't, you know what it makes you look like?
Oh, yes, I do.
A liar.
A clown.
And I'm not calling him a liar. I'm just saying what it looks like.
Oh, I'm calling him a clown. How about
I
that?
would like to sit with Sam for about an hour and say, hey, you're going to hire me for double what I make in my current job. I'm going to reform your image. We're going to be transparent. We're going to be honest. And if that means you get a mask mandate or not, you got to let it happen. Let me revamp you. But you're not going to be able to force this stuff because right now it's bad. It's just
they're going to keep trying. They're going to keep trying. They'll come up with some other measure to keep trying. They're not going to give up.
Well, yeah, because when you have a person or people or group where I'm trying to be kind and nice, where it appears that ego, where it appears that lies, where it appears that pride is all getting in the way, of course you're not. Because you've been defeated and defeated again and defeated again. And even though St. Louis County chose him, I believe a lot of things have changed since last November, or excuse me, before November, when he won his primary against Mark Mantovani. So anyway, Sam Page was absolutely destroyed last night. Lisa Clancy. So we'll check in with Tim Fitch to find out what was going on there. We'll continue to talk about, I also got an update, believe it or not, as bad as, quote, cases have been, and we have had some deaths, they're not even close to where we were before. Yes, ICUs are a little bit overrun because of the staff that are there. It's sad what's going on. Yes, the scanner, but the deaths are still not there. I know that we're told, and I talked to David Tannehill yesterday, ICU doc, critical care, Mercy, who said they really can't compare deaths yet. You got to give it a few more weeks still.
Right, because deaths do lag infections. That's correct.
But it's trending where the caseload is going down, according to the St. Louis County website, when you go to the coronavirus page. And if you look at page 3, the hospitalizations, it's not as dire as you would once think. It's really not. When you look at their stats, I'm confused as hell with the reporting of the numbers, because now I'm looking at the county numbers and I'm looking at what the task force give us, and I'm confused, and I'm not afraid to say it. I have no idea what's going on with the numbers, which leads into the CDC. They will never apologize publicly, but they're changing the Florida numbers now. It went back to being a normal rate from being the most COVID-infected day in the history of the state of Florida. So they're changing the numbers. Chris is now hearing, we won't tell certain names, but there's some questions about what's actually been happening in the Springfield area, if numbers are correct there.
That's right.
Not trying to lessen anything during a pandemic, just giving you ideas of things to think about as well, because it's not where it should be. How am I flip-flopping? Daddy just said I'm wearing flip-flop shoes.
I honestly don't know, but what I do,
that'd be funny.
What I do want to point out is when Dr. Tannehill was
those numbers are made to keep. Yeah, they
with
are.
us last week, he stated that he expects things to get far worse.
Yes, he did.
Than they have in the past, and I don't understand that if the numbers are starting to.
I thought he meant total
down.
cases, not deaths.
I thought he meant a combination of everything. I mean, that's just my interpretation, is that he acted like things are going to get far worse than what they were to begin with.
They're pretty bad now.
Yeah, they are.
They are pretty bad.
The numbers. Now, here's the thing. The hospitalizations are real in St. Louis. They are. But the actual numbers of cases are starting to go down. They are. I don't know how, but they are. So you're trying to decipher through everything, and we've already talked about it several times. Don't you dare shut the door.
You're a fool.
And during the break, we have a fan, Chris, that we're going to set up, and the fan is going to blow at Eric with all the wind going out the door.
Towards Brian's office.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I can't believe he's here.
our wonderful opening segment was just interrupted by the elephant in the room. Eric Johnson has showed up. We don't know if he's had the brown bag flu because of his excessive partying.
Watch this.
Oh, that's not even funny.
It's not you.
So you
guys have literally
Eric
done a
Johnson has showed
show.
up.
You guys have literally done a
we
show
don't
for
know
18
if
months.
Eric is COVID infected.
You literally have done a show for 18 months
as the brown
on
bag
what has
flu.
happened to the flu, what has happened to a cold. You have literally
flu
done a
doesn't-
show
but you
questioning
didn't get
the
tested,
right
so how do
things.
you know
Oh
which
my
one you
God.
had?
Tabitha.
So when Vic has to miss
I'm
10
fine.
days
Hey,
from Fox 2,
I'm fine.
he's going to dock your pay.
I'm fine, by the way. Thanks for asking.
So yesterday,
Eric,
you were 3 out of 10. But here you stand today.
And that is the beauty of the summertime cold. And that's exactly what it is.
Eric,
Period.
So you think you had a cold?
Oh, my God. Look. Yes, it was a cold. And it's called the summertime cold. And it's something that's very unusual because people don't get colds in the summer. So it was just a little bit more severe. But it's not not everything on the planet is COVID-19.
But I don't want a cold either. I just want to point that out.
When I leave the studio, could you?
I'm not contagious anymore.
You're going to need to open and close the door so I don't have to touch the door.
You
Stop
guys are
screaming, man.
killing me.
Your droplets are
Jeez.
coming over here.
You know
I don't
what?
want a cold. I
Give me a
don't.
hug.
I don't
Come
want
on, jump over that thing.
any illness whatsoever.
I made it.
Well, Eric,
Hey, I made it.
It's good to see you.
I made it. All right.
Yes. I know a scale of 1 to 10. How do you feel today?
I feel
6.
10.
You went from a 3 out of 10
Oh, come
yesterday
on.
to a
You were
10
at
out of 10.
three
To
yesterday. How are you
anybody
at
that's
10
listening to
today?
this, look, I still have a little bit of raspiness in my throat, right? You can hear it.
That's
right.
the virus
It works.
particles spitting out of your mouth.
You're a fool. And the second thing is
They said in the Bible
the-
not to ever call anybody a fool.
What? You're quoting scripture? Stop. She's going to burn.
My grandma used to say
There's
that
smoke
every time
coming
she
off her
heard that word.
shoulders now.
What?
Every time my grandma heard the word fool, she said, the Bible says don't everybody call ever
Tabitha
call anyone a
played the
fool."
little bush in the burning bush in her little high school play, I'm sure. But the thing about
She's
how,
dancing with snakes this weekend,
Yeah.
too, drinking venom. I can already, that's on her backwoods place.
the beauty of this experiment is that we are in the middle of this Delta bull crap. First of all, let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me
Eric
tell you
Johnson
this.
has come back on fire.
Let me tell you this. I have had COVID, and then I probably think I've had it again. And then there was this other time when I think I had COVID, and it just keeps shooting at you. COVID is nothing compared to this summertime cold that I just went through. I'm telling you, Vic.
You
Eric,
mean COVID?
Come
Vic,
on.
You mean
Vic,
COVID?
look at me, man.
You mean COVID?
Look at me, man. I'm telling you, man. This thing.
Maybe you had COVID and your antibodies are fighting it, so you were only sick for a couple days. But you were sick for what, 6 days?
I got blasted.
God, he's got to be next to me.
You know what? I will leave
Jesus
right
Christ,
now,
for
and
me.
I won't even apologize for it. I'm telling you, it was a cold.
I can see his hot COVID breath coming over here across the room.
Yeah, that's why I
She
was
said hot
spraying him
COVID
down.
breath.
Hey, by the way,
That's harassment,
Drew
by the way.
Collins, he did, but then we all knew because it was kind of funny. He said that you said COVID was over.
It
Well,
is.
Yeah, it is over. He
I'm
still
telling
says
you
it.
guys. I'm telling you guys. Look, COVID's a thing. It's putting some people in the ICU. But if you get it and it's a
It's putting
mild,
a lot of people.
Yeah.
in the ICU,
If you get it-
unfortunately.
and it's mild, this summertime cold, which is a real deal thing, sucks
So is
balls.
COVID.
Huh?
Crap! It's time for
So
our
is
first
COVID.
break already.
You guys, come over and give me a hug. Come
All
on, here, bring it in
We'll be
here.
right over.
Bring it in here.
We'll be right
Come
over.
on, Vic. Bring
Chris,
it on in.
Chris has
Bring
an,
it in. Chest
I'm going to
bump.
put my
Chris
mask
has
on.
an
I got the
alcohol.
worst.
Bring it
seat.
in.
What
I got
is-
the worst seat in
What
this
is your
place.
machine called that you spray around the building? it-
Desanitizer fogger?
He's got this.
I
fogger.
will suck on that thing.
Good.
We're going to make
it'll
you.
be fine.
It's like a
I'm
leaf
glad.
blower. It reminds me of a leaf
Yeah.
blower.
Yeah.
It sounds like a leaf blower.
Yeah.
And Chris like straps it onto his body,
Yeah.
walks around the
Right.
place, and he
I'm gonna-
fogs the
You know
place.
what? Here's the deal. Here's the deal. The next time, get that thing off me.
Chris
Here's
is,
the deal. The next
Chris
time,
is trying to spray Eric with a can of Lysol.
I am literally here as an experiment. You guys I don't ever want to hear Tabitha.
your mask?
I never want to hear Tabitha. Dude, you cannot gang up on me with her, dude.
I'm
That
not. I'm
that
not.
is not something that
I
can
love
happen
you,
here.
E. I'm just laughing. That was funny.
If I ever hear
What's
you
your
say
mask?
what happened to the flu again, I'm going to laugh my ass
So
off.
you're saying you had the flu.
I had a cold.
Okay, but either way, so you're coming in then and giving us your flu.
I am not contagious anymore. And
How
particles
do you know? Did you go get tested?
Were you quarantined for 10
particles
days?
can't even go that low to the ground and
So
stay
now
alive.
we have to quarantine for 10 days because we've been exposed to you.
Hey, don't go anywhere, everybody. We'll tell you
can
what
we
hap-
get back to Sam Page?
Yeah, we'll tell you what happens during the break. We'll take a quick break. We come back. We're going to talk real quick with Tim Fitz, St. Louis County Councilman, about the latest knockout punch that they delivered to Sam Page and Lisa Clancy last night. Oh, yeah. Sam, he likes to use the media. Taking bets this morning. Is Sam Page in his backyard again,
Yeah.
or is he at County
He's in
Council
his
chamber?
back.
I wonder
He's
if
in his
his
backyard
neighbor
with a
makes
mask
their
on.
French yet.
Oh, we'll check it out.
We'll be able
And,
to see.
and
Maybe.
thanks for the Lysol in my coffee, by the way. That's beautiful.
Hey, you're listening to The Edge. Share the show, 100.7 The Viper. Don't go anywhere. If you do, come right back. More with Tim Fitch about where we are with the county. And for those who think this is a serious situation, no talk last night was about getting people vaccinated. No plans, nothing put in place. It was all just about mask. And if you're council and you think this is such a serious issue, oh, we got to mask up, why wouldn't you be doing something in your mind to promote vaccines instead of mask? None of it makes sense to me.
Exactly.
None of it makes sense. We're going to get to it all. When we come back. We're just starting the fastest 2 hours of Morning Talk Radio. Eric Johnson, the COVID King. Chris Knight, Tabitha Hassell, I'm Big Faust at Fox 2, back with more great times on this Wednesday morning. It's 8:20. You're listening to The Edge.
Yeah, we know we don't start as early as the other shows because we're a lot smarter.
Mom, Ethan's in the tree again.
Ethan, get down.
Can I climb on the swing set instead?
Sounds like it's time to get all your adventure-seeking kids to Holiday World and Splash and Safari. They'll soar on Thunderbird, race against each other on Cheetah Chase, the first launched water coaster, and get the thrills they love on all the wooden roller coasters. Get your family fun off the ground at holidayworld.com.
Free smoking! Free parking! Free sunscreen!
The Great Gap Sale at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com is here. Styles up to 75% off. Plus, limited time deals including active shorts for the family from $19.99. Shop now through July 10th.
Hey, it's Shanny from the Legendary Lunch, and I want to tell you about my friends at Mascot's Bar and Grill, 4881 Mexico Road in St. Peters, right by the Recplex. And if you are looking for a place to hang out with your friends, it's Mascot's Bar and Grill. If you want delicious food, it's Mascot's Bar and Grill. From their appetizers like the giant pretzel, this thing is bigger than your head, to the steak sandwiches, the value menu, to the legendary lunch special. That's right, Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 3, you go in and tell them that you're FOS, you're a friend of Shanny's, and you want the legendary lunch special. It's a $5 half-pound burger and fries. That's right, $5 half-pound burger and fries. Better than any fast food burger you will ever have. And on Sundays, all day long. That's right, the legendary lunch special goes all day long on Sundays. Stop by and say hi to Jen and Rob. You will have a great time. Musical bingo, food, fun, friends, and family. It's Mascot's Bar and Grill.
An important part of staying healthy is keeping up with your regular preventative exams like mammograms and colonoscopies. Barnes Jewish St. Peter's Hospital and Progress West Hospital offer convenient locations for you to keep on schedule with your screenings and with extra protocols in place to keep you safe during your visit. Early detection is your best medicine. To schedule an appointment, call 636-928-WELL or visit bjcstcharlescounty.org.
Hi, this is Curtis Barks. I am the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair. Family owned and operated since 1973. We've seen a lot of storms. We know what we're doing. We're here to help. Complete Auto Body and Repair has multiple locations in the St. Louis area that handles hail damage and storm damage. So if you've had an issue or have an experience where you had to turn in a claim, please reach out to us. We'll handle all the red tape. We are Complete Auto Body and Repair. We handle everything from start to finish. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service!
Oh yeah, and service.
You want a great job, and you want it now. Steel and Pipe in Jonesburg is hiring warehouse specialists right now for second and third shifts. Get great pay and awesome benefits like production bonuses, 401k with employer match, and paid holidays, plus medical, dental, vision, and supplementary insurance. Find out more and apply online at steelandpipe.com. Steel and Pipe in Jonesburg is looking for the right people right now. Apply in person or online at steelandpipe.com.
Weber Chevrolet has been in business since 1902. No other car dealer in St. Louis of any brand can say that. Nobody sells more Chevrolet, period. Weber Chevrolet is one dealer with 3 roofs. In Missouri at Olive and 270, and in Illinois Metro East, Columbia, and Granite City. All easy to get to, just follow the 270 loop. Also, all online accessible at weberchevrolet.com. Right now, Weber Chevrolet is open but very thorough in their cleaning, disinfecting, and social distancing rules. And don't forget, Weber Chevrolet service departments are award-winning and second to none. In fact, other dealers send their problems to Weber Chevy to fix. Now during this crisis, Weber Chevrolet has teamed up with Detroit to come up with awesome deals to help people save money and manage their budget. Discounts, incentives, and the ability to not make your payment for up to 4 months. Weber Chevrolet since 1902, weberchevrolet.com.
Now, back to the Edge Morning Show.
Hey, welcome back to the show, everybody. You're listening to The Edge. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Tabitha Hassell, Big Faust of Fox 2. Tim Fitch is on the phone, St. Louis County Councilman. You're not running with the devil. You're going against the devil, right? I'm just teasing. I'm teasing.
Every day is a new adventure.
Hey, we appreciate you joining us. If people hear your phone in the background or what may be on, you're driving. Okay, last night, Lisa Clancy brought up another, I guess, proposal for a mask mandate, shot down 5-2. Can you give us the play-by-play?
She wanted to pass a bill last night that, when it became law, would make it a crime to not wear a mask in a public place. So when I say a crime, I'm talking about a Class A misdemeanor for up to a year in jail and up to a $2,000 fine.
Wow.
She's a communist.
Wow. That went over like a lead balloon. Thank God.
Right.
What's behind
I mean, that was just one part of the other issue that was in there. It said this bill would be in effect and would not sunset until 70% of St. Louis County was vaccinated.
Sometimes you just got to let that stuff absorb.
Tim, they knew. Okay, I've been taught in journalism, don't just follow the ball around, go where the ball isn't. They knew that wasn't passing last night. What's the reasoning behind it?
You're exactly right, Vic. They knew it wouldn't pass. They did it because they were trying to influence the judge's decision. On the 17th, the judge is going to have kind of the final hearing on Sam Page's. Remember when he put out the mandate and then the council terminated it, and then the attorney general sued on behalf of the people of Missouri to enforce the state law that said the county council had the ability and the authority to terminate this mandate. So Sam Page is fighting that, and there's been a temporary restraining order in place since last week, and the judge has already said that the council is liable to prevail and the state law will stand. So that's what Sam Page is, because if they would have gotten this passed last night or shown any support for it at all, the judge could have said, well, maybe we should let it stay into effect. That's what they were hoping to do.
But nay. We are talking about Sam Page has no data to show anybody right now, does he? He's just what is he doing exactly? If it seems like a good executive would come out with reams of data and say, council, people of St. Louis County, this is what I have, and this looks pretty ominous. Why is Sam Page not showing the data? Does he think we're stupid, we can't absorb it? Or why is he not presenting it to us?
One thing Sam Page doesn't like to do is be challenged. He doesn't like any tough questions to be asked of him. He has canned responses. You probably heard those. He says the same thing over and over and over, how he's looking out for the health and welfare of the people of St. Louis County. It's the same thing over and over. And you have to remember, he hasn't come to us one time since the pandemic started as a council and said, this is what I want to do and this is why I want to do it and I want your support. Not once.
To follow up on that, do you think he has the data? Do you think that there is such reams of?
Well, if you look at the data that's on stlcorona.com, which is health department data for the St. Louis County, and it's reported to the state as well, it actually shows these COVID cases coming down in the last 7 days. So
yeah, we were
there's
just
some
talking
discussion
about that.
we've already hit the peak and we're on the way down.
Wow.
But what he wants to do politically is say, look, it's because of my mask mandate, which now didn't happen, so he can't claim that. So that's what this is about for him. It's about him being able to say he did all these things to mitigate this, and he's saving lives.
Wow.
That's what he's trying to accomplish.
And that's exactly what I was going to ask. What is the point in all of this? I mean, the people have spoken. We don't want a mask mandate. That's obviously been voted down twice now. When is he ever going to stop, or is he ever going to stop? Why does he want control?
No, he does not want to stop. He knows he's going to be in a heated re-election. The primary is a year from now. So he knows he's going to be in a tough primary and then a tough general election, and he's trying to do everything he can to stay relevant and to keep his face in the news. That's what he's trying to do right now.
So what's the next step here, Tim, when it comes to the county and the county council? Because this is what's getting the headlines. This is the sitcom that we've watched at county council, but there's still some other issues. We still have the Faisal Khan situation that's out there. There still was subpoenas out for Sam Page and his other job. And all the while, council still has other jobs to do, which is what you guys were elected to do.
Absolutely. We still have problems at the animal control shelter. We still have problems at the jail. We just saw a police chief step down. I mean, we could keep naming these problems off one after. I would challenge anybody in county government or it's watching county government to say, here's what Sam Page is doing well. Can somebody name something?
Yes, standing in his backyard at a mask.
Yeah, he's got a
Trying
great
to take
backyard.
control.
Manicuring that backyard's amazing.
Yep.
I'm trying to get to the end of something to see where we can go with the council, because For 3 weeks, it's been wrapped up with a mask mandate, it seems as if. And that's why it's at some point in time when this goes away, it's like, okay, we've actually got to get to all these issues, which we were just talking about. That's what concerns me, Tim, because ironically, where we have unity, that there isn't unity like you guys have, as I've talked about several times, when you have white Republican men working with African-American Democratic women against a certain issue that they see as government oversight. I don't see that anywhere else in the country, but at the same point in time, we're getting all the headlines for being a disruptive county government in St. Louis County.
Yep, you're definitely right. The other thing that we have to get on is we have this federal money, this $193.5 million that's come in under the American Rescue Plan Fund. We need to get that out into the community, and we have been so distracted by all of these health mandates that Sam Page keeps trying to push. We haven't had any time to work on that, and we need to get that money out. This is money to recover our economy. We need to get that moving.
In just a moment, Sam Page is going to start his press conference. We loved it when you were on with us last time while Sam was talking, interjecting. Would you have time to do that again as soon as he talks, maybe just for a few minutes?
Yep. If you could just give me about 5 minutes, and call me back, and I'll talk to you in about 5 minutes, if that's okay.
Yeah, we'll give you a call back. We're going to listen to Sam right now as he starts.
Because I'm gonna get a coffee if you don't mind.
Get a coffee.
Yeah.
We'll check
All
back
right.
in with Tim Fitch.
Thanks.
Now here's
All right.
Sam Page, starting with his presser this morning, and he is not in his backyard.
Good morning.
He is at
Over the past
County
year,
Council.
we've talked a lot about hospitalizations and the death rate associated with COVID-19. At times, the virus had filled hospital units to capacity and stretched the endurance of doctors and nurses beyond any reasonable expectation. While most patients recover, the virus has killed some of our grandparents, some of our parents, some of our siblings and spouses and children. But the outcomes are not limited to quick recovery or death. We've not talked about the 10 to 30% of people who survive but are not able to get back to their normal lives within a few weeks. A significant portion of those people have symptoms for months, and some have now had them for over a year. Because COVID-19 can affect nearly every organ system in the body, these so-called COVID long haulers experience a broad array of symptoms, including loss of taste and smell, memory loss, chest pain, extreme fatigue, muscle and nerve pain, stomach problems, erectile dysfunction, even hair loss. The data tells us that some who suffer from long-term symptoms like this are often younger, in their 20s and 30s. Some are teenagers, and they're virtually otherwise healthy, with no pre-existing conditions that would make them more susceptible. There appears to be no rhyme or reason for why they still have symptoms months later, while others have recovered. We know that over 100,000 people in St. Louis County have contracted COVID, and that means between 10,000 and 30,000 members of our community are still experiencing symptoms of some kind months after their diagnosis. Like the Ironman triathlete who, after contracting COVID over a year ago, can't even run 50 yards or race his son down the street. Or the vibrant young woman in her 30s with intermittent nerve pain. Or the kindergarten teacher in her 30s who gets breathless when she walks up the stairs. She has such severe brain fog that she sometimes forgets if she fed the dog. While she jokes that her dog likes getting the occasional extra meal, the fuzzy memories are scary. These are people I know are people who've shared their stories with me. And I'm not telling you this to scare you, I'm telling it to inform you. Young, healthy people are making personal choices based on an unclear picture of the risk associated with contracting COVID. They're basing decisions on the belief that they won't end up in the hospital or the risk of dying of COVID-19 is slim. It's true that dying is unlikely for most, but the risk of battling life-altering symptoms months, even years later, is unacceptably high. And unfortunately, COVID cases among young people are up in St. Louis County. Cases are highest for people in their 20s and 30s, but cases are rising for children and teenagers as well. Long-haul cases are not limited to an age group, and our children are not only at risk for contracting the virus, but having long-term symptoms as well. Vaccination remains the single most effective tool against the virus. Vaccinations are safe, readily available, and free throughout the country. If you have not yet been vaccinated, and you're the most at risk for contracting the virus and for having to deal with immediate and long-term effects. So please get vaccinated now. For tens and thousands of St. Louis County residents dealing with long-term COVID, please know that I'm very aware of your situation and that our health department is working with area hospitals to fully characterize the problems and identify resources to support you. And finally, let me point out that in a few short weeks, large numbers of unvaccinated people will be gathering in indoor spaces. And I'm talking about kids under the age of 12 for in-person class. Many of our school districts are requiring masks, and our Department of Public Health is urging students in school and school personnel to wear masks to reduce the chances of spreading COVID. Without our countywide mask mandate, because it's still tied up in court, it's up to school leaders, parents, and those who are caretakers for the kids after school to advocate for what is safest for them and our young ones. A unified response would be most effective and certainly less confusing, but some of our elected leaders do not see it as a priority, and that's a real shame. Please follow the advice of the CDC, wear a mask, protect yourself, and protect those who can't get vaccinated. By taking these steps, we can keep schools open and students in the classroom. We can defeat the Delta variant and return to a normal life. We have the tools. We just need the tenacity. So get vaccinated, and if you haven't,
All right, we've been listening to Sam Page. Now we've got Tim Fitch back on the phone.
follow the advice of the CDC, wear a mask, protect
Let's hang
yourself,
on
and
to him for a
protect
minute here.
those who can't get vaccinated. By taking these steps, we can keep schools open and students in the classroom. We can defeat the Delta variant and return to a normal life. We have the tools. We just need the tenacity. So get vaccinated, and if you haven't,
Yeah,
All right.
we'd already heard, Chris, we were listening to that a second time.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Tim, I don't know. I hear a different message from Sam Page today. He's not fighting for mandates anymore. What do you make of what he's saying? And I know this is your side.
Well, my guess is because he's been shut down twice in the last few weeks that he sees it as a waste of time to continue to try to push it at this point. And he'll try to convince, give cover to the school districts for requiring masks and all those things. And again, that's up to those elected school boards to do that or not. And whether or not they get reelected in April is up to the people of that district.
Exactly right. So Sam Page could do something good. He could get together with you. He could literally say, hey, I want to do a PSA, and I want to say, you know what? Masking in public, maybe that is a good thing. These vaccines, we recommend them, but we're not going to mandate them. And then you put that all over television, and you guys could move the needle maybe on some things. He doesn't seem interested in that at all. Like, all right, let's go have a lunch and learn and just talk to you guys. Is that ever going to happen, you think? Is Sam going to just say, look, enough is enough. Let's just get together and see how we can manage this thing?
I don't believe that's in his nature. It's in his nature to go at it alone without any public input. And if he sees it as politically beneficial to him, that's what he'll do. He'll continue to do it that way. I don't see that changing. That's just how he's put together.
It's not going to change. And you know what, Chief Fitch? I know that Sam Page, it's all theater. He stands in his backyard, he wears his mask, he tells everybody else, oh, if you mask up, the data supports that you're not going to get COVID. But I have a photo of him from last year where he was sitting at a coffee shop with some other folks without a mask on, sitting at a table about 1 foot away from each of these people. So I don't believe it. When he stands in his backyard wearing that mask, that is all virtue signaling.
Yeah.
It is all fake.
Absolutely.
It's all theater.
Absolutely. Yep, you're absolutely right. I did the same thing at a sporting event for his kid where he was photographed without a mask on. And he said, I was following the rules of that jurisdiction when I was there, which did not require a mask. But at the same time, there was a mask mandate in St. Louis County.
Exactly.
No, he should do it because he believes in it, because this is his religion.
Because it's not about that, Eric.
Well, no, I know. It's because Sam Page has found religion in the Democratic messaging behind masking and vaxxing. And that's all there is to it. And that's what he's trying to push on everybody. Now, I got a question for you, Tim. How do the people of St. Louis County, are they completely on your side? Have you done any polling on this, or is there pushback on this against you guys?
Well, I will tell you, I just pay attention to my council district, that's who elected me, that's who put me there. And I can tell you that the emails and phone calls that I have received are still about 3-1, no mask mandate.
Okay.
And so they have spoken loudly. By the way, my council district also has the highest level of vaccination rates in the county and the lowest rate of infection. So that is a fact.
Okay. Is the lack of I don't know this answer, and I'm sure Vic does, but is the North County those communities, are they the ones that are not participating in the vaccinations as much as maybe the Ladoux's and the Chesterfields of the world? Have you guys kind of parsed that out yet?
Yes, we get the data. We can see data by council district, and just last night, Councilwoman Shalonda Webb spoke of her district and Councilwoman Day's district as being the lowest in vaccination rates, and they're desperately looking for assistance from the county government and the health department to help them roll out plans to get people vaccinated in their particular council districts. They've been asking for that for a long time. Since the vaccines were first introduced, they've been asking for that.
Okay.
And they're just not seeing it.
Very interesting. Have you guys discussed how to maybe get vaccinations to those communities easier? I mean, this is problem solving to me. It's like, don't mandate anything, but make sure everybody is accessible to as many masks as they want, as many vaccinations as they want. Have they talked about maybe that, rolling out more programs up in those communities?
Yes, one of the things that both of those councilwomen have asked for is they want mobile outreach in particular neighborhoods in their districts, and that still hasn't happened. They've been asking for that again since December, thinking that will be the best way to get to their constituents and get the vaccine into arms. They've been asking for that, but again, just is not going anywhere with the public health department. Sam Page just really hasn't helped them in that respect.
Well, Tim, we appreciate you joining us this morning, my friend, and I know you're on your way making a trip right now. Please keep us posted on things that are going on, but right now, no mask mandate for St. Louis County, and we'll see where schools go from this standpoint as well. And right now, it is, once again, for parents to understand, it is the school board's decisions on what they do with masking for kids coming back, correct?
So far.
That is absolutely correct.
Okay. School board. So you got to reach out to the school boards. Hey, thanks for all the time you've given us this morning.
Thanks, man.
All right.
We'll keep touch with you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the invitation. Take care.
All right, St. Louis County Councilman
He's
Tim
the front
Fitch.
line of exactly what you said earlier. St. Louis is this bizarro little anti-masking kind of community. We're not getting the people of St. Louis County do not want to be locked down. They don't want to be masked. I can't believe that Fitch isn't on every major national show right now talking about it. He is literally the Marines.
But there's a lot of people out there, Eric, who hate Fitch and hate the council for making these decisions. I mean, I don't think that they support everyone in the county because those same people elected Sam Page after knowing that he was going to put these mandates in place. I mean, we support it. I love Chief Fitch.
I didn't say that.
And the council.
Look, I didn't say there's not people out there that don't want to be masked all the
But
time. I get
like
that.
Fitch said, he represents the people in his district for what they want.
Okay.
And you know what? And
here's
we're fighting for freedom,
Right.
what it is,
But-
because guess what? People can still put a mask on.
Here's what I'm saying.
We're just fighting for your right to choose.
Right, exactly right. Here's what I'm saying. Every single day on, I'll just use the one. Even your station, the Fox, what is it, a News Nation, Fox National. They do have these kind of people on. Fitch would be a great representative to say we are the council to people.
Next Star News Nation. In regards to how they do a terrific job.
They do a fantastic job.
Everybody giving their side.
Exactly. I'm saying that Fitch would be a great proponent for going on these national shows and talking about how you stick up against the tyranny of a county executive or a county mayor or whatever, because that's what has to happen. Number two, the people, the good soccer moms of St. Louis County better get ready to rally because Parkway Central is going to have masks. Ladoux's probably going to have masking. These guys need to rock and roll because CRT is coming into these communities. I feel a little sorry for these people. These are probably not normally political people, but they got to get up off of their couch, go to these county meetings, and be the voice against this nonsense that's going on.
Well, I think the critical race theory is settled. I don't think there's anything
No,
more
it's not.
to go there. I mean, well, school's
Are you
starting.
kidding me?
School's starting. They made the classes optional.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think you need to research that a little bit
it
more
all depends
before
on
I
the
think
school district.
I think you need to research that a little more before you say that.
Well, I've been talking to some people at Francis Howell. I don't know about some of the other school districts, but if it's an elective course, then it's an elective course.
The deal with CRT.
I mean, it's certainly something that people need to keep in mind and continue to monitor to make sure everything's going. I know they had an issue here in the Francis Howell School District where some kids were assigned to these elective courses from the CRT program that didn't sign up for them. But it happened to be that it was just scheduling issues where if they didn't have an elective, if their schedule was messed up for some reason, they were just automatically assigned there as like a placeholder. But all those students have to do is contact the school and select their elective, and they will be taken out of those classes if they don't choose to be in them.
Well, we're in a weird era right now. And I don't even understand how it happened.
Yeah.
How did it happen that I don't have really a horse in the game, really. I don't have a son or a daughter in any school district right now.
No, but the fight's for the future.
Yeah.
For everyone.
And to be honest with you, I'm not in my 20s. I'm not in my 30s. I don't have the outlook anymore of, how this country is going to be formed going forward. But I do know that if you told me as a citizen and as a taxpayer that your tax money is going to go to a school board who is going to parse it out for critical race theory, and we talked about it on the show about victimizing and, you're the victim or you're the oppressor, the oppressed, I would be outraged. And these parents, I kind of feel sorry for. These parents are not supposed to get off of their couches to go to these school board meetings to protect their kids against being masked all day on cloth masks that don't work, by the way. They can do more harm than good.
A lot of this, Eric, is in your more progressive areas and your more progressive school districts. I was told last night that Lincoln County has made masks optional. So, it's these more progressive counties that are going forward the mask mandates and pushing vaccines more, et cetera. You're not seeing that as much in the less progressive areas. It's the progressive area. St. Louis County is very progressive. And it's becoming more so every day. The soccer moms you refer to, a lot of those are liberal progressives, and they are all for those. A lot of those soccer moms will be masking up their poor kids every single day for school.
I just wish that we would get a liberal, a real liberal, not a John Parker liberal, a real liberal to call in on this show.
He is a real liberal.
Trust me, he's not. A real liberal that would call in on this show and explain to us all of this stuff. Because to me, it's like, here's what they're calling it now. The unvaccinated people are we're the people that are we're not intelligent. We're not the elite. We don't listen to the science. Actually, the people who are afraid of vaccines, they do their due diligence. They do their research. They try to find out what this vaccine's all about. They try to find out what natural immunity is all about. They try to. So
it comes down to Eric. It comes down to what we do.
To me, an anti-vaxxer has way more density of knowledge about what they're doing as opposed to some little sheep who's following.
But the sheep don't consider themselves sheep. What it's about, it's all about the media that a person watches.
And I don't mean that as, I don't want to, let me retract that. Sheep is, I'm just saying someone who follows what everyone else is doing. That's all I mean.
I know, but people who are
I don't mean to be derogatory.
People who are liberal progressives, who are wanting mask mandates, who are wanting vaccinations for everyone, those people think they're doing the right thing because they are listening to Dr. Fauci. They're listening to Biden. They're listening to CNN or MSNBC, and that's where they're getting their messaging from. You can go online and you can find just as many studies for masking as you can find for not masking. And it's all a matter of perception and what you choose to listen to.
Right.
I personally feel like it's common sense that whether you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, you can become infected and you can transmit the virus because we can see with our own eyes, people are getting vaccinated. They are becoming sick. They are transmitting the virus to other people. So I don't see how anyone could say they're not. And we can see, in my opinion, we can actually look and see with our own eyes that people who are masked up and wearing masks are still getting infected. We know that the virus is aerosolized. It is very confusing to me how the other side can look at the same facts we're looking at and the same data we're looking at, but come up with an entirely different conclusion. I don't understand it. I have a lot of liberal friends.
So
I don't get where they're coming from.
So liberalism versus what's the other? I mean, is it a conservative that doesn't get vaccinated? I don't think so. You have a lot
of conservatives have been vaccinated, and a lot of liberals have not.
We just talked to
I think people tend to make it political when it's really not as political as it is.
But we just talked to Tim Fitch. He says that the good people of North County right now are not getting vaccinated. He said that's where the vaccination is lowest.
But there's a lot to that. A lot of that is about fear because in North County is predominantly a minority area, and we know that there are a lot of people in the Black community that don't trust the government. They don't trust vaccines because of what's happened to them in the past with vaccines.
So there's all kinds of this minutia, all kind of this. You have to drill down and why certain people are not getting vaccinated and why certain people are. I'm not getting vaccinated simply because a physician looked at me and said, "Have you had COVID?" And I go, "Yeah." And he just kind of did this weird little head nod, like, "I wouldn't get it." And it was literally that fast.
And that's why,
Eric,
you're right.
Fast.
And that is exactly why I keep pushing everyone needs to get antibody tested. And so many people have reached out to me recently and said they did get antibody tested and have shared their results with me. And, there's a lot of people out there who claim that they never had a symptom, never felt bad, have had no issues. And guess what? They have antibodies. I know several people this week.
Way into your little antibody thing, aren't you?
We have to be way into our antibodies. We have to be, because guess what? If everybody tests for antibodies and we can prove that, hey, 90% of the people have antibodies, then why do we need to push vaccines?
I think that we have pushed this damn thing to death. Personally,
we have.
I think that look, if this is George Soros's thing, because I'm always trying to figure out what is the bigger fabric that these guys are trying to push. Well, fear keeps people down. Let's keep them eating cake, talking about COVID. And in the meantime, we're going to sneak a lot of people over down here through this border. Oh, and in the meantime, this little $1 trillion budget that we just passed, this little $3.5 trillion budget that we're about to pass, don't worry about it. These guys are focused on COVID, Vic. Delta variant.
It's the shiny
I'm
little
serious
ball.
about this, guys. I think that is what is going on here. I mean, how do you keep people afraid all the time? Their mortality, right? COVID is making us talk about this.
Well, it's an emotional issue.
And we haven't touched on this thing that passed yesterday at all.
Which thing are you talking about now?
$1.5 trillion
and we're
infrastructure.
In the second hour.
Of which
Absolutely.
20% of it goes to a bridge or potholes, which, by the way, driving on Highway 70 right now is like playing Donkey Kong. You cannot go over. My car is literally destroyed because of Highway 70. So we do need infrastructure. But 20% of this is going to infrastructure of $1.5 trillion.
Yeah. And
another one's on its way.
Yeah, it is. And we just have to remember this whole thing is very emotional and people get excited one way or the other. They are passionate. Heck, people even listen to what we say and misunderstand what we say and try to say things that are out there. And the bottom line is we're reporting what's going on. We're reporting facts. Obviously, sometimes opinions get in there too. But, I mean, the fact of the matter remains, there's not as many people vaccinated as the president wants, as health officials want, as even county council wants, as the governor wants. And
it's not all conservatives. A lot of liberals are not vaccinated.
Well,
but they don't want to tell us that because that doesn't that might unify us. They want us to be divided. So they want to say it's only conservatives.
Shalonda Webb was talking about her district, and she's like, "Hey, my North County district, none of this is helping right now when it comes to getting people vaccinated. We got to come up with a different plan. We're talking about these other issues instead." So that's where it goes. It would be very interesting to see. I don't know. I don't know where this ends or if it ever does.
It doesn't. You're in the middle of the soup right now, and here's where it ends. Or here's where we need to call out by name. Or I don't even know how you would do it. I don't know how many there are. But the next thing we have to look at is just a wave of voting these idiots out of office and out of the school boards. We have to know their names. We have to know what they're voting for. We have got to, this has got to start. This has got to start. I want to know every person that's on this Francis House School Board. I want to know what they're voting for. I want to know what St. Charles West is doing. I want to know what Zumwalt's doing. I want to know what all of St. Louis County is doing. And these guys, if they bring anything in that is not reading, writing, arithmetic, and making these kids' life better in high school, I want them gone. And it's time that parents step up and start going to these school board voting meetings.
Well, parents are. And
you sure about that?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they seem to just kind of
And
give
it
these
depends
guys
on
a
the
blank
district.
check lately.
Well, here's the thing. We'll talk more about the infrastructure deal in the second hour. We're going to take a break anyway. Also, what some of the interesting things that are happening with concerts. Somebody asked us to please talk about the pageant refunds.
Oh, my God.
And what's going on. And, of course, County Council voted down for the second time mask mandates. I don't think you're going to see that come back again. We just report what's going on. People decide how they feel. All right, Eric Johnson, he's back. Good to have you back, Eric. Yeah, you feel like you're 100%. You sound like you're 100%.
But you don't look 100%.
Look who's talking.
Chris Knight, Tabitha Hassell, I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2 Show, the show 100.7 The Viper. And of course, we love it when you do. You can give us a call, too, in the second hour if you'd like, 636-695-2915. And, of course, you can listen to us at ViperRocks.com. We'll be right back right after this with more of the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio on the Edge.
This is the Edge Morning Show.
Live on 100.7.
The Viper.
Time for some upgrades? A new deck, a privacy fence, or maybe a whole new look with new siding. But who do you call? What you gonna do? Call Bad Boys Construction LLC. They are locally owned and have over 30 years experience in every kind of fencing, siding, and deck jobs. Free estimates and everything is done right the first time. Bad Boys Construction is veteran owned and gives military discounts. So what you gonna do? Call Bad Boys Construction LLC. Online at badboysconstructionllc.godaddysites.com. On Facebook at Bad Boys Construction LLC.
Our homes are where we feel the most happy, safe, and secure. So when you see cracked drywall, uneven floors, or basement wall cracks, you want to make sure it's fixed forever. Woods Basement Systems, the all things basementy experts, can restore your home's value. So call toll free at 888-900-1721 for a free estimate. Foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with Woods Basement Systems. Discount offer from Woods at ViperBasements.com. That's ViperBasements.com.
Hi, this is Eric Joya, sales manager at the all-new Travers Automotive and RV at I-70 and TR Hughes. I'm personally inviting you to come see our awesome selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Travers Automotive and RV has the largest inventory of lifted trucks and Jeep Wranglers in the market. Our new location also has RVs from Mesa Ridge and Open Range, and a huge selection of pre-owned as well. Come see me and my team at Travers Automotive and RV, I-70 at TR Hughes, TraversAutoandRV.com.
As a trauma-informed provider, Compass Health Network is equipped to assist you or a loved one struggling with trauma, anxiety, depression, substance use disorder, or other behavioral health conditions. Our providers understand that everyone's life experiences are different and will work with you in person or virtually to develop the most effective plan of care. You are not alone. Call Compass Health Network today at 844-853-8937 or visit compasshealthnetwork.org for more information.
With round-the-clock protection at a great price, your Progressive policy works the way it's supposed to, unlike this unenthusiastic hype man.
Okay, everybody, let's make some noise. Put your hands up. Or not. It's your call. Here we go now. Here we go.
Switch to Progressive today.
It is electric in here.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Wake up. The new abnormal.
This place is a nut house.
The Edge Morning Show.
Keep your resolution to quit cigarettes this time. Go to I Quit Vapor, 852 Bryan Road, O'Fallon. I Quit Vapor carries the salt nicotine systems, their latest juice flavors, and all of their pod systems. Let their staff explain why the salt nicotine system is so effective in helping you to quit cigarettes for good. It has a much smoother delivery and allows you to adjust the amount of nicotine intake. I Quit Vapor is still your one-stop shop for everything vapor. Keep your quit cigarette resolution this time. Go to iQuitVapor iQuit Vapor, 852 Bryan Road, O'Fallon. Puff bars and disposables now available.
Now another hour of The Edge Morning Show on KFNS Troy St. Charles. The Edge Morning Show.
People's Bank and Trust is helping you get a grip on your finances with our new mobile banking service. You can now manage your accounts, check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills all from the palm of your hand. Visit us online at www.pbtc.net for more information and to start using mobile banking. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Viper weather with legendary chief meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Viper meteorologist Dave Murray with my Wednesday forecast. We're still in the summer soup. It's hot, it's humid, it's breezy. But once again, a couple of thunderstorms could fire up at any time, though not for everybody. We just have to watch the sky. 95 for the high. Tonight, clear skies, very humid, 78. Thursday, hot and humid, some spot thunderstorms again possible, 95. Scattered thunderstorms on Friday, 90. Over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, partly sunny skies. High temperatures over the weekend, about 82. We'll take that. From the Viper Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray. Now back to the Edge on 100.7, The Viper.
Whipper River Electric, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. The Edge Morning Show.
Local headlines now with Fox 2's Vic Faust.
Hey, guys, got to look at some of your morning headlines. Let's get the sports out of the way right now. Cardinals won last night. They're back to 500 for the season. All right. There's your Cardinals update. This morning, a man honors a fallen Illinois officer with a cross and an American flag on the McKinley Bridge. Officer who was killed last week while he was trying to lay spike strips out to stop a speeding car. Sad story there. A woman was found shot to death in the Carondelet neighborhood early this morning. The shootings are still happening, which is unfortunate. Also, there was another shooting as well last night. A man shot in the Mark Twain neighborhood. Still waiting to hear on his condition. There's paravigil that's being held this morning as that situation is going on for the Brooklyn police officer that was killed. Also, St. Louis City in-person rental assistance clinics start today because the eviction moratorium was extended. By the way, the moratorium, we'll get into that in just a little bit. Last night, St. Louis County Council votes down another proposal on a mask mandate by an overwhelming majority, 5-2. Same people voted the exact same ways. There is no mask mandate in St. Louis County. However, businesses can still choose to do what they've always done. They have the freedom to do that. Sam Page, not a fan of what happened. He called it a real shame of what's going on. He had a press conference this morning talking about how COVID also affects people who heal. And also, customers upset now over the slow ticket refunds that are bought at St. Louis venues if they don't want to go anymore because of a vaccination card being required or a negative test within the last 72 hours. And how about a new Bass Pro Shop opening up in South County that will give the area 3 Bass Pro Shops in the St. Louis area? And women and people do still win lottery tickets. Women wins $100,000 in Missouri Lottery Scratchers ticket. Good luck to her. Congratulations. Let's look at your morning headlines.
The Edge Morning Show.
Hey, welcome back to the show, everybody. You're listening to The Edge. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, and Tabitha Hassell. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Eric, how you doing? You doing all right? Feeling
pretty
good?
good.
You need to take a nap?
Come on,
You all good? You wearing your
man.
Marines hat today? You're all good to go.
He slept for the past 4 days.
That is... That is the voice of Eric Johnson. You're listening to 100.7. The Viper. You can
I've
take
laid
us
off
anywhere.
of her for a long time.
ViperRocks.com.
It's coming.
You can also give us a call at 636-695-2915. By the way, we're also on YouTube still, miraculously. So you can follow us on YouTube as well at The Morning Edge. Eric, would you like to jump in on Tabitha then?
Before you do, I just want to point something out. That when Eric, the entire time I was messaging you, and you're like, I'm so sick, I'm dying, I'm in bed.
I didn't think I said that.
I'm a 3 out of 10.
I didn't.
I'm coughing.
Did
I
I say that to you? You didn't hear me
I
say
have the
that.
text messages. I'll show Vic.
I said in the. What did I say exactly? I said in lieu of getting you guys sick, I'd like to take a day off
You
to
said,
figure
"I'm
out what's
in
going
bed,
on
I'm
here.
in bed,
I
I'm
didn't say that.
coughing so
Did I say
bad."
that?
Not to me.
No, not to
Oh, I have
anybody.
the text to prove it. So anyway, outside of that, what in my mind, what I was thinking is that you're a man, which means your 3 out of 10 is really like a 6 in women's terms, because we all know when men get sick, you guys are big, big, big babies.
I agree. At least was what I'm told. I don't know. For
I
myself.
don't know why
I'm
you
so
want to be
speaking for
so.
myself.
I'm not sure why you want to be so offensive with this, because back in the old days before COVID, people would get a cold and they would go, "Oh, go take some Dimetine Mist." Do they still make that? By the way,
I have
whatever.
no idea.
Sudafed, and drink a hot toddy and some Campbell soup, and you'll be fine.
Well, the meth addicts have ruined Sudafed for us, but there are plenty of other plenty of other options out there besides Sudafed, which if you buy it, they will put you on a list.
Okay.
But here's the thing, Eric.
What did you just say?
If you buy Sudafed, they put you on a list, no question, because people buy Sudafed and use it to make meth.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I understood that.
Yes.
I did know that.
Yeah, so I stay away from the Sudafed. I don't want to be on a list. But Eric, here's the thing.
I'm looking at you weird, by the way.
I
Can you
agree
tell?
with you with a lot of things. If I were sick right now, I don't know that I would go and test for COVID because I don't want to be added to these COVID statistics.
You told me to go get a test for COVID literally this morning.
I know I did.
Would you stop talking out of both sides of your mouth? You messed up.
I
All
was
right,
just
go
teasing
ahead.
you. But here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
What's so important for everyone is when you are sick is to stay away from other people.
I'm not sick anymore.
And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people in general. People in general, if you get sick, doesn't mean you have to go get COVID tested. You could have the summer cold. You could have any number of different illnesses. It doesn't mean you have COVID. And people have to stop jumping to the conclusion they have COVID. But people still need to stay away from other people.
Have you guys seen lately? You have to start putting this in perspective. And I'm done talking about COVID. I can't stand it anymore. But
I'm with you on that.
But there was this graphic that was made, and it was like a barrel full of jelly beans. Vic, you got to check it out. It's pretty amazing. A barrel full of jelly beans, and they're all these white jelly beans, and you're like, oh my God, look at all the white jelly beans. And then they go, this is the number of people that of these jelly beans, some of them would have had COVID, some of them would not have, I guess. But of these jelly beans, these are the people that went to the hospital for COVID-19. And it's like half of a jelly bean. And then you look at, these are the people that went in the ICU on a ventilator. And it was like an eighth of that jelly bean. And then you look at the same vat of these jelly beans, and it's like a sliver of a jelly bean is the people that died from COVID-19 all over the world, right? And sometimes you just got to put things in perspective. Is this a deadly disease? Can be. Yeah, it can be. Is it the kind of thing that now that it's in the world, and this is an honest conversation that's going on right now, is it better to be in this world and have been exposed to the real virus? Or is it better to live under your bed for the next 20 years while this thing fizzles out?
It depends
or
on
is
your
it
health.
better to just go get a vaccine and be done with it?
It depends.
That is the real
It depends on your
conversation.
health and your personal viewpoints on vaccines.
Right.
Right now in the state of Missouri, 0.0043% of people are on ventilators. And it's even and it's more than it's 3/4 less people who've died. That's for your point. I mean, just
you
and that's
gotta
not an
visualize
opinion.
it.
Those
But you
are
also
Vic, you got to
those are
visualize
numbers.
it.
I know. I just try to bring the
Because
facts to the
numbers don't
table.
mean a lot to a
But
lot of
those are
people.
facts.
Because you know what? Let me put it this way: if Tabitha, God forbid, if she got COVID, got sick, and it was in front of us every day, her kind of going down, 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 it would mean a lot to us. But as far as the statistical data that goes out there, she would be the way minority of people that deal with COVID-19. If you get COVID, there's not a big chance that it's going to affect you other than maybe you losing your smell and your taste.
Yeah, but look, Eric, look at what's happening. Vic and I know a guy who is extremely healthy. I mean, I would assume he's extremely healthy. He feels he's extremely healthy. and he was really sick from having COVID. He lost, what, Vic, 18 pounds, something like that?
Yeah, 18, 19 pounds.
I mean, he was really sick for a couple weeks, and he's still, I just talked to him this morning, he still doesn't feel well. And that's what I don't want to happen to people. I don't want people to be sick for 3 or 4 weeks, have to lose 20 pounds, feel like they're going to die. And the only way we can keep that from happening is to try not to be around
Sam
other
Page,
people
thank you for
when
your
we're sick.
diatribe over here. Which side are you on? My God,
Well,
I get
no,
it. There
I am
are
for the
people.
we have to tell the truth is the thing. We have to tell the truth.
So tell
and
the
there are
truth
people
about
out there who get
do the
very
context.
sick from COVID.
And
It
The-
doesn't mean
the
you need to
death-
wear a mask.
well,
It doesn't
the
mean,
data,
mean
the
you have
data
to
from the
vaccinate.
St. Louis Pandemic Task Force and from St. Louis County right now show that the deaths that they're very, 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 very small. That's the data. Okay, that's not opinion based. That's data that is there. Then you take it a step further right now when you look at that.
Yeah.
The people that I know that have gotten it, Eric,
Okay.
recently.
Okay.
Not African Americans. I know 3 white men around our age, no pre-existing conditions.
Yes.
All 3 of them.
Yes.
Felt like they were going to die. One's in the hospital. One's on a ventilator right now. One is we actually two people who Tabitha and I know, whether she realizes it or not. Both had serious symptoms for about 3 weeks.
Okay.
And that's not the flu. That's where I do believe, and you start to see evidence, factual evidence, not opinion-based, that it's not the same. That it is.
I didn't say it's
but
the
it-
same.
different,
I
for sure.
never,
but then
ever
then
said it was the
affects
No, you
same.
people
didn't.
differently.
I never said it was the same.
I know you didn't.
I said that if you want to make an educated decision on what you want to do with your life, there needs to be a time when you start putting things in perspective. And that's all I'm saying is there is no wrong answer right now. The CDC doesn't have a right answer. They have multiple. The CDC's like Tabitha Hassell. They talk out of their both sides of their mouth all the time.
I don't talk out of both sides of my mouth. It's a complicated, COVID is a complicated situation. By me saying that very few people die and very few people end up in the ICU,
Yeah.
and I don't believe every person should get vaccinated,
Yeah.
and I don't think masks works, doesn't mean that I don't think that people get very seriously ill with COVID
Right.
and feel like they're going to die. And I don't want to see those people go through those illnesses.
Sure.
And the way we can prevent that, it's not wearing a mask, it's not vaccinating, because you can still transmit the virus through vaccination. It's by staying away. If you feel sick, stay home. Don't give it to your friend. And I'm not talking to you. I'm saying other people. Stay home.
Okay.
Don't be out. Don't give it to everyone.
Yep.
That's the only way we're going to get past this. Just like the flu
If I
or the
was
cold
if
or
I was
anything
a
else.
listener of this show, I wouldn't listen anymore. And I'll tell you why.
You say
Because
some crazy
we
things.
Did
What
you
are
tune us out yesterday?
No, because there is only so many ways you can talk about what's happening right now. You can talk about the numbers. You can get Chris Fournier every morning, and he'll give you the numbers of what's happening in the ICUs down in St. Louis. It's not going to change. It might be up. It might be down. It's going to be the same thing. You either feel safe going to a Foo Fighters concert or you feel like you're part of the problem. You either believe COVID is as bad as it can be, or you're like, I'll take my chances and I'm not putting a toxic substance into my body. There's no other thing to talk about at this point. We can have a fun time talking about Sam Page and how much of an idiot he is, because he is an idiot. And the reason he's an idiot is there's a group of people around him, his team, the council, people that work with him, that he doesn't just say, let's go have a beer and figure this out. He tries to work against them. That's the funny part of this whole COVID thing in St. Louis County. And trying to figure out the strategy of what the Democrats are doing with COVID. They're using this as a tool somehow, and we don't exactly know what they're doing. But that's fun. But talking about whether you're going to get vaccinated or not vaccinated, I don't know, man. It
Well,
seems
I think
like
we've talked it into the ground.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to
And
say.
there are still people who do support Sam Page.
Sure there is.
Really?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
And I don't mean to be that passionate about this. It's like I think that there's a ton of other things that are just way more important right now.
There are, because COVID is the big shiny ball distracting the world away from the real issues.
The one other issue we got to get to before we get into other topics today. We had a report. I'm looking for it right now. So the person who wrote it on our Facebook line, if you can let us know where to find it, that would be great. But they say that the CDC is now encouraging people not, I repeat, not to get antibody tested.
What? Of course, because then the truth will be out. Of course, they're going to encourage people to not tell the truth. Of course.
So there you go. Hey, Eric.
Yes, sir.
Cuomo He's gone.
Moron.
He resigned. Joe Murray, I thought would have been blowing up our phone today.
You know what's so
happening.
funny about that? Is him resigning and not going through the process of impeachment. He now goes into the Donald Trump category.
Correct.
He can now come back as a ghost.
Correct.
Later in life. When something gets screwed up in New York politics, boom, guess who's there? Andrew Cuomo. If he wants to run again, politics is so short-sighted. No, corrupt, yes. Short-sighted, yes. Donald Trump was called a treasonist president. He's going to run again. And guess what?
He'll lose.
If he was impeached, if the Senate would have impeached him, he would have had no opportunity to run again. But now Andrew Cuomo, I think he did this for political purposes.
He needs to step down today, not 2 weeks from today. Why? When you're asked to step down, who gives a 2-week notice?
Well, but here's the thing: if the legislator up in New York started today, Vic, an impeachment process, and this is what they really should do.
I already know this.
He would be kicked out. He wouldn't have 14 days to even think about
He
this.
should be moved out of the governor's mansion today.
They're trying to be as respectful as they can.
Oh, because he doesn't have anywhere to live.
Yes,
the
He doesn't
rest
have
of the
anywhere to
state,
live.
the rest of the state politicians, they're just glad that he's out.
They're trying to thread the needle. Is what they're doing.
Exactly. That's what's happening in the state of New York
because he's
right now.
crying that he doesn't have anywhere to live. This is my only home. I don't have anywhere else to go. What am I going to do? Like, we're supposed to feel sorry for him.
Well, I mean, he's wealthy. So is his brother Chris.
Yeah.
His brother Chris yesterday showed us he just got off his
speedboat.
Yeah, it's a really nice speedboat.
It's a nice boat.
Yeah.
What was that, up in Martha's Vineyard?
He wouldn't answer any questions, though.
I bet.
Well, a Fox reporter was there, Fox News. Apparently, the Fox reporter alleged that Cuomo had told him that he could have police come and get him, that he was breaking the law, but then he stopped him, and he said, "Yeah, I've talked to my brother." It was just kind of hard to follow, but you do have some sound with him yesterday, right?
Yeah, he was just trying to get him to say anything. He didn't want to answer any questions.
Have you spoken to your brother today, sir? Did you advise him to step down? Are you continuing to advise him? Do you think that's an ethical conflict? Thank you, sir. Is your brother coming to East Hampton? Thank you.
What a douche.
Do you think he'll be accepted in East Hampton?
He's getting in his truck.
Do you believe the women, sir? Do you believe the women's stories? Did you counsel your brother to malign them?
What kind of truck is that, Chris?
It's an F-150, I think.
Do you think there should be an investigation in CNN?
Nice truck. Sounds good. Do you think you could take him? He looks big.
That's right.
I'm not going to lie. The dude looks pumped.
Did you see him walk?
Yes.
Well, that's because he had a...
seen
I'm
him.
not going to even say what
I
I'm
didn't
about
see
to...
him walk. I seen him.
That's all you
He
need to
was
know. That's all you need to know by the way he walked.
He was waddling.
Anyway, that Chris Cuomo somewhat responded to his brother, kind of being a little bit of a jack. A
Well,
little
because
bit.
they both have bad dispositions.
Does
here's a-
Cuomo go down? Do you think he's done?
They say he's gonna he'll run again in 2022.
No, Chris.
Oh, Chris Cuomo. He's not done.
I don't see him being done, not at that network, unless he decides to quit on his own and pressure. There would need to be other, quote, media pressure and pressure from groups, a la women's groups, things like that. But I very seriously doubt that he's going anywhere because his brother didn't admit to anything. His brother, in his statement, if you listened, said, well, I just think it's best for government to get back to government as it should be. Government, meaning that this whole fiasco is hurting New York, the state that I love. He said, but he said there's nothing wrong with him, that he's not some crazed sexual fool.
Sure sounds like he's one.
He just always said it was his nature. Nothing was bad. And
in a weird way, Missouri is is really running their business pretty good. In a weird, Parson, he's doing a damn good job. He is. He's working with the legislator. The legislator's doing things. They're getting business done. They're dealing with these clowns like Sam Page properly. The county council. So St. Louis.
He's not sexually assaulted anyone. How
He
about
has not
that?
sexually assaulted anybody. But government right now is a clown show. It's so sad to me that we can't put people in.
You mean Democrat governments?
Yeah, well, even Republican government. You have a bunch of Republicans right now, 19 on the record, that voted for this $1 trillion mess that's coming down the pike. These Republicans, am I too early to say they're dead men walking? Is that too early to say that the Mitt Romneys of the world in Utah are going to be primaried? Is it too early to say that Murkowski is a dead man walking right now because of what they just did yesterday, voting for a stimulus package that only allocates 20% to roads and bridges, and the other is to these initiatives that are so left-leaning, it's unbelievable.
Blunt voted for it.
Oh, well, he's gone, so it doesn't even matter what he does.
Hawley voted against it. And now you've got a $3 trillion package coming down the line.
3.5.
It's absolutely, it's mind-boggling the amount of money that we're talking about that's been put out with the stimulus plan to now the infrastructure plan. It's mind-boggling. Where all this money is coming from. It's mind-boggling.
And you know what? It'll pass because Nancy and Chuck don't do anything unless they know that they're going to be able to slam this thing through. Literally, seriously.
Well, that's because it's sad to say, but the majority of Republicans in Congress do not care about us people. They've managed to stay out of the limelight. They're not out sexually harassing people, but they do not care about us. And they're going to continue to pass these bills because it's not about us.
Yeah.
It's about lobbyists and it's about lining their own pockets.
I feel like I'm in an Avengers movie, or I feel like I'm in Rocky 1, and all of this garbage is going on during the whole movie. And then right at the last 30 minutes of the movie, you hear the Rocky theme song music come up. And as soon as you hear that, you know that things are going to start to get better.
Rocky 1 was critically acclaimed, Eric.
I loved Rocky 1. I watch it every day just to get
But you
myself
didn't like
up.
the movie until the end?
It was fantastic. When Mick was all jacked up and you had the girlfriend problems and eating eggs in the morning, and I was like, okay, can he beat Creed? Well, the answer is no. But he did give it a good shot. When he ran up the stairs, I keep waiting for the Republicans to run up the stairs in Philadelphia. And I keep waiting
That's never going to happen.
I keep waiting for the cavalry to come in.
We are the cavalry.
I keep waiting for that Rocky music to go off. And when is it going to happen? Or are these Democrats going to be to slam this entire thing through? Are they going to be able to let 3 million illegal aliens across our border? Are they going to put CRT into every classroom? Are they going to make everybody get vaccinated? This is where we're at right now in the history of the United States. I throw to you.
We have to fight back, Eric. We are the cavalry. We are the last stand. Our politicians are not going to stand up for us. Very few of them. We have DeSantis, Abbott, Tim Scott. I mean, there's only a couple people standing up for us. The majority of politicians are only in it for their own self-gratification and for power, and I don't care what side they're on. They're all in it for the same reason.
All right, we got to take another quick break. However, when we come back, we'll continue to talk about this. Also, Eric, if you want to flow freely, just flow freely. You're rolling today, dude. You got four
No,
four
I'm
days
not.
of pent-up energy. I can see
No.
it.
It's
I
not
can
like
feel
that.
it.
That's not it. I want to throw around to the panel.
636-695-2915, 636-695-2915. Eric Johnson is back. He is healthy. He is good. He is alive. He didn't even sound that bad, which is great.
Thank you.
Sound good. Chris Knight, Tabitha Hassell's just giving that look. And I'm Vic Faust over here at Fox 2. We appreciate you joining the show. Once again, share it, 100.7 The Viper on Facebook. You can give us a call, 636-695-2915. Of course, we promote it. ViperRocks.com, ViperRocks.com. Back with more right after this.
Listen to The Edge Morning Show live. Watch it live or anytime on demand. Details at ViperRocks.com or on Facebook.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed is the only bed that effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. The new Queen Sleep Number 360 C2 Smart Bed is only $8.99, plus special financing. Ends Monday. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Get a grip on your finances with People's Bank and Trust's new mobile banking service. You can now manage your accounts, check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills with ease and all from the palm of your hand. Activate your phone today by visiting us online at www.pbtc.net. People's Bank and Trust. Hometown banking the way it should be. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
An important message from Quiver River Electric Cooperative. During this unprecedented time in our world, we want to emphasize our commitment to continue delivering reliable power while keeping our members and employees safe. Our linemen are taking precautions to stay socially distanced. Other employees are working from home. Although we've adjusted our operations, we want you to know that we are still here and we will continue to keep the lights on. For more, visit quiver.com or call us at 1-800-392-3709. Quiver River Electric, a Touchtone Energy Cooperative.
Compass Health Network is offering the COVID-19 vaccine day at many of our locations. Please visit compasshealthnetwork.org for a location near you or call 844-853-8937 for an appointment.
Fever is a leading symptom of the coronavirus, so take your temperature twice a day with the Exergen Temporal Scanner. It's quick and easy to use, and its accuracy is backed by more than 80 clinical studies. Have your family start and end their day with the only home thermometer used and recommended by hospitals, doctors, and nurses. Your family can take their temperatures in seconds to know where they stand in the fight against COVID-19. Protect your family from the spread of this deadly disease and stay safe with Exergen.
Hi, this is Curtis Parks. I'm the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair. Now that things are back open, the vaccines are out, we are ready to get back to work. The kids are home, and I'm sure you're ready to go back to work too. We are hiring all positions. We are looking for everyone and anyone that wants to make life better for themselves, and we want you now. CompleteAB.com is where you apply. CompleteAB.com. Join the complete experience. No more sitting at home. Let's get back to work. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixed the car.
Welcome to MegaNet. For slow internet, press 1. For indifferent customer service, press 2. For confusing pricing, press 3. For extremely long wait times, stay on the line. You are 87th in line, 85th in line, 87th in line, 85th in line, 85th in line.
Where there was frustration, now there's satisfaction.
Hello, this is Helen at Gateway Fiber. How may I help you?
Isn't it time you refreshed your internet provider? For more information, visit gatewayfiber.com.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Hey, welcome back to the show. You're listening to The Edge. Happy Hump Day. Wednesday already, August 11th. We got to get through 2 more days, I think, of this intense heat. But each day we've had some rain that comes through and eases the temperatures down. But, man.
It is ridiculous hot out there.
When it's that hot and that humid, that it's raining and storming every day, that's what causes the storms to roll through. Oh my, has it been wild. This weekend, though, looks fantastic. Low 80s, mid 80s, sun's going to feel amazing. So 2 more days, get through that, and then we'll see where we go from the heat. But we thank you for joining the show. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Tabitha Hassell. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Another national headline. Chris brought it up in the beginning of the day. Florida called out the CDC for false numbers, giving them the highest total of COVID cases in days it ever had. They said, you're lying, you've messed up the numbers, and the CDC changed them. So, yes, that can happen. Mistakes can happen there. one of Chris's friends, says in Springfield he thinks the same thing's going on there. Apparently, an official has contacted the CDC about the Springfield numbers. If anything comes up, we'll keep you posted on that as well. Where are we at here? And then last night, we also had an update on now the horrible situation where Ella French was killed, the Chicago police officer, her partner fighting for his life after being shot 3 times. Well, the guy that shot the officers and his brother, who's in a getaway car, they were in a shootout with police. Well, the guy that actually killed Ella and shot her officer, he took a bullet or 2 and was in a hospital room, so non-life-threatening injury. His mom shows up at the hospital, allegedly kicks a cop in the groin to try to get into the room. She's arrested now. So she went after police trying to get in the room. They tried to hold her back, and the report says that she assaulted him on top of everything else that had already happened, allegedly, with her 2 boys. So just another horrible situation to add on to what's happened in Chicago already. Those are some of the other news headlines that are going through. And, Eric, you bring up Joe Manchin because I know you saw him, the moderate Democrat. We'll see where he goes if he's going to push the $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill, which has become a big, big, big deal because, you know, Pelosi needed this to pass the Senate. And I really don't know where this is going. I don't know if the $3.5 trillion bill is going to get, or $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill is going to get passed or not. I really don't.
I wish I knew the dynamics of how all this stuff works. I'm not a expert on what is it called, reconciliation. I don't understand that. I don't get it. But it's something where you can pass legislation a lot easier than having to go through the floor of the Senate. So I know that AOC wants this thing to be not 3.5 trillion, but they want it stuffed like a Thanksgiving turkey full of social initiatives. You now have Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin on the other side who are saying this is getting out of hand. They don't want this what I represent. I think that the House of Representatives will throw everything but the kitchen sink at the American people. And you have 2 people right now who you need to call, beg, shower them with gifts. I don't know what you're going to do, but you have to beg them. Don't destroy the country.
They'll end up
I mean,
passing
how
it.
much pressure? Really?
I think so, yes.
Well, they've come out and said, and they've said this now for months upon months, that if they move forward with this garbage that's coming out of the House of Representatives, they're a no. You have 2 people that have said that now, not just yesterday, but for the last foreseeable past.
But Democrats will hold something over their heads where they will have no choice because that's what they do. They are willing to stoop to any level to get these ridiculous bills passed. I don't know what it is, but they will hold something over their heads and they'll make sure they get it through. It's like, I'm just so sick of the Biden administration. They just think we can print money. We can just print up money and spend money. And we are in such a huge deficit right now. Trump did so much work to fix our deficit. Now we're back in the hole again. I can't even remember. I think there's only one administration that had a worse deficit than what we have right now. I mean, they think that we can just print out this money and everything will be okay. And we'll keep fixing and putting Band-Aids on things. And we're going down a hole we'll never climb out of.
This is the stuff we need to be really, like we have been researching COVID-19. We really need to start diving into this stuff. And we really need to start understanding because we've been doing a pretty good job with COVID. If A happens, B is the consequence to that. If you mask kids, B is the consequence of that. If you get a vaccination with Dr. Naputi, who used to come in here, B is the consequence. We need to start doing that with all this stuff. If you put critical race theory into a classroom, this is your consequence. If you put $3.5 trillion, of which we don't even know what's in this damn thing, this is the consequence. They keep talking. And what the consequence is this. If you make $20,000 a year and you go and finance a $4.5 million house, there's not a lot of chance that you're going to be able to afford this thing. And that's what this Senate That's what this legislation is doing to you, not your kids, but your damn grandkids. People that you won't even know in the next 100 years is what is going on here. So you have two choices. You either go defunct, you either default, you either bankrupt yourself, and then you start something else. You start a new currency. You maybe what's the plan is maybe you're talking to China and saying, hey, we'll just come up with a world currency if you forgive all our debt. You don't know what's happening behind the scenes of all this stuff because there's no way, and that's the best analogy I can come up with. You make $10,000 a year and you go out and buy a yacht. You understand what I'm saying?
We don't want global currency because, I mean, that's what they all want to
but
move
you're not hearing me.
Is they want to go
I didn't
towards
say that's what we wanted.
globalization.
I didn't say that's what we wanted. I said, what is the end game of a House of Representatives spending money that's not paid for? It's basically dumping debt on the generation, not your son's generation, but their son's generation.
It's all about redistribution of wealth. It's about leading into socialism. They all have the same agenda. Some Republicans stand up to it. Others are right in line with it because ultimately they want their payout at the end of the year, and they're going to go along with any policy they have to get their payout. I have almost zero faith in anyone in Congress right now.
And you're not the only one. That's the problem. It's been that way for a while.
Absolutely so.
And now, I mean, this was a bipartisan deal yesterday, the $1.5 trillion. The next one would not. That was one quick bipartisan deal on a much lower amount. And then it didn't last, as we reported last night on Fox 2. It didn't. Now you see, it's like, okay, $1.5 trillion is a ton for this. Now you want a $3.5 trillion bill?
Exactly.
Yeah. So then that's where you have the fighting now, back and forth. And I think in the end, it will get passed. I don't know, but if I was forced to guess, I would say I think it would.
I think so.
Isn't that?
I think so.
But it's
Because
just
the numbers,
throwaway.
I think the numbers would be there.
But it's so overwhelming. It's so monstrous that there's no way to even stick up for this thing. You don't have enough soccer moms to go to Congress and tell them, no, don't do this, please. We're
in a sinking ship, unfortunately. And I don't have an answer. We're in a sinking ship. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how we come out of this. I don't trust the voting system. So I don't see 2022 as being an easy answer. I think we're heading down a really bad path right now, and I don't think there's a way out anytime soon. Sorry, Eric. I know that's very dark and dismal for you.
No, listen to me. I feel the same way. I kind of feel there's no hope. There's no hope right now. And I don't know how this whole thing gets fixed.
Well, people who are against it, as you said earlier, when you only have, 20, 25%, maybe if that, going towards the actual roads, bridges, actual traditional
Think about
infrastructure.
that. Yeah.
And it's not even being questioned hardcore by national media. That's where I'm like, okay, then why call it infrastructure if it's not? It should be called whatever it's going to with all of the money. It's the social agenda plan or social whatever it is with a little bit of infrastructure.
Because you don't know marketing very well.
Yeah, I know. I know marketing. It's just I was asking that because that's, as a journalist, that's the question I would ask.
Yeah. It's a shame. This is where the real problem is that our local media doesn't have enough. I don't know if the word knowledge or they don't understand what's going on enough. They're just going to report what's happening in Washington, D.C. without letting the constituents understand what the blowback's going to be from this thing.
Well, that's why you have to research as a person, as a citizen.
I know.
You have to research. You have to see a headline and you have to dig deeper.
The fact that your property taxes are going to go up, the fact that what they're trying to push right now is a mileage tax. What are you going to do when there's a car that has a meter on it that says you owe X amount of dollars in mileage tax? Let's say that the way that this is going to work is that you plug your car in. And this is what I was told by a tech friend of mine in Los Angeles. He said to me, check this out, Vic, that you're going to plug your car in and you're going to have to pay a mileage tax that is going to be generated via some kind of algorithm out of the plug-in device. And it will, so if I go to, let's say, charge my car, electric cars, it will then, on top of that, put hey, you've traveled 50 miles, you owe X amount of dollars. They said that that's what the future of this whole thing is all about. And this is going on right now in these 1.5 and 3.5 trillion dollar bills. This is the garbage that's kind of laced inside of it. So I think it's just, Tabitha's right. You have to do your own research, but it's already the boulder is going down the hill, and it's never going to stop at this point.
From the Facebook line, starting at the local level, fix the local issues. Yeah.
Well, we're trying.
And that's hard to do, too, because look at Sam Page. I mean, it's so hard to fix local issues when a lot of the local leaders are progressives. I mean, it's going to come down to a point where I hope the progressives don't get the upper hand on us, and we end up losing out on a lot of the things that are important, a lot of conservative values. But it feels to me that's where we're heading.
Can you turn this around? That's a good question also. Can you turn this around if there's a
Can you turn exactly what around?
If there's a tsunami in the midterms, if there's a tsunami in the midterms, let's say the Senate they get 5 seats. Let's say there's a couple primaries and you can get rid of the Murkowskis and you can get rid of the Mitch McConnells and they win their. Can you turn it around? Can you turn hard enough on the rudder before the Titanic hits the iceberg? Is that possible? That's the only light at the end of the tunnel that I see. There's 2 lights. You have Manchin and Sinema right now.
Yeah, but there's a way of doing politics too, though, Eric. That's the other thing. For this to pass, several Republicans voted for the $1.5 trillion deal to go. They did. However, not one Republican, voted in favor of the $3.5 trillion.
Yeah, but that's semantics, as our friend yesterday, Brad, said. Because, okay, there has to be a caucus that we don't know about where there is a well-played strategy. Because this is all chess. You're moving your pieces around the chessboard. You have 19 Republican senators that voted for this thing yesterday. They know how the game is played. They have to have some kind of a follow-up move to this thing. If they get 50-50 on a reconciliation bill, Kamala Harris comes in and passes the whole thing. Is the way I know about it, right? Isn't that how reconciliation works? You don't need to have the supermajority, right?
I don't know.
I threw the Tabitha Hassell.
And I don't think it matters. It's never going to come to that because they try to compromise, but ultimately Democrats right now are in control and there's very little we can do about it. That's why they stole the election so that we would be in this position.
Isn't it bizarre that you have 50 Democrats and of the 50, there's only 2 that are like, why are we destroying the country exactly? Isn't that bizarre
and
to think about?
Their own people turn against them. That's what the shame is. Their own people turn against them.
Yeah. Anyway, it's something to keep an eye on because it's so big and massive. It's like us talking about we really have to move the moon 5 degrees to the north because it's affecting the tides. We can't do it. I don't think there's anything that we the people can do right now. I think that this massive movement has started already.
Well, you're getting ready to find out because guess what? The new shiny ball is it's going to be climate change. We're going to be right back into everybody saying we need to spend all this money because of climate change. That's going to be the new hot topic.
Well, we did a story on Fox 2 last night, regardless of people's opinions on it. And it's interesting because the reporter said, well, we're losing bumblebees because of climate change.
But we're not. We're losing because of pesticides.
And
that's not climate change.
This reporter, he didn't say, he didn't back it. He just said, we're losing. Like, well, who says that we're losing
That's not true.
And that's why when you do a story, you have to give sources.
Absolutely.
Or, okay, such and such scientist says because of climate change. But you also have, thousands of scientists who say that climate change doesn't exist. That's why you have to word it properly. In this day and age, so many things are being thrown at you in stories. And I'm like, and I really break down words. And you guys
have
know
to
that.
separate it, Vic. That's the problem. People aren't separating pollution and the things us humans are doing to destroy our country has nothing to do with climate change.
Yeah, and regardless of how people feel on it, just look at what
chemicals are killing the bees. And it's a very serious problem.
As well. Absolutely.
It is pesticides are killing the bees. I refuse to use pesticides. I will not do it. I can grow all the weeds in my yard. I don't care. I am not going to contribute to that problem. But that has nothing to do with the earth warming and cooling. Nothing.
Well, it's interesting because if you really want to know, you talk to somebody who says, oh, yeah, climate change is going, and then talk to somebody who said, no, it's not. It's not. Talk to both sides.
Well, yeah, government-funded scientists will absolutely say climate change is happening and we're all contributing and we all need to change. I mean, the arguments for it are so incredibly ridiculous. We all need to drive electric cars by 2030. Now, come on. That's not reasonable at all. And what do they drive like 40 miles on one electric charge? None of it makes any sense. It's ridiculous.
I'm not afraid of that technology as much as everybody else is, to be honest with you. I think there was a time when horses roamed the earth and we were riding around on horses. As a matter of fact, my mom used to live in a house where they still had where they tied the horses up in the front of the house.
Sure.
It was a house that was made in 1846. And then all of a sudden Ford came out with this little gas-powered vehicle, which had to be absorbed into the... I'm not afraid of the Tesla. I'm not afraid of these electric cars. If they can perfect this technology, fantastic. As a matter of fact, if the government said, we'll subsidize everybody so you don't have to pay $100,000 for one of these vehicles, you'll pay $10,000 for one of these vehicles, I would think that would be a much better...
Okay, but they're not... But when you get an electric vehicle, when the battery dies... You can't just go out and buy a new battery.
Then you have charging stations every 40 feet. Who knows? I don't know how that...
It's not about charging stations. It's about the fact when the battery in an electric car is dead.
Okay, perfect the technology. That's not really what I'm talking about.
It costs more to replace the battery than it does to buy a whole new car. And guess where those cars go? They go in a landfill.
Okay, I don't know about that. I'm saying if there's a way to keep exhaust coming out of a car and you can prove it to me through data and this whole... I'm fine with that. I think the problem that I have is they have no solutions right now for any of this stuff. They just shut down XL pipeline. Boom. Why? We want to save the climate. Okay, well, they're letting Russia drill their little pipeline from Russia to Germany. There's no rhyme or reason, really, to what these people are doing.
Well, there is. It's about money.
Right.
It's about money because the people who are pro-climate change are going to make a lot of money over all of these deals.
And apparently...
Tabitha, Teslas go 300 miles.
I know. I just saw that.
From the Facebook line.
My car doesn't go 300 miles. And if I run out of gas between here and Kansas City, I still got to push my car to a gas station.
I can't see me ever buy an electric car, so I've not done a lot of research. But yesterday, somebody was just telling me, they're like, most electric cars only go 40 miles before they need a new charge. I'm like, well, that's ridiculous.
One other thing I had to get into today before we get out of here. No surprise for a variety of reasons. But the NBC Tokyo Olympics, the ratings had the smallest Summer Games audience in network history. Everything from the nation polarized over the flag to technology and, of course, it being 12 hours ahead of us.
And you know what sucks? And that is such a...
the primetime coverage of the Tokyo Olympics only averaged 12.9 viewers. 12. The total's the smallest audience since the network actually began airing them.
12.9 million or just 12 viewers?
12.9 million.
And you know what?
Since 1988.
Unbelievable.
The Tokyo Olympics dropped 49% of viewership compared to Rio in 2016.
Here's the payoff pitch. These athletes who in the old days would have the flag wrapped around them in the pride.
Many did, though.
I know, but I'm getting to that. Like the Michael Phelps era. Remember when he was doing in the pool and people would log on every night, 8 o'clock, to see if he could beat France and Germany and all these others. He made a billion. I mean, just an unimaginable amount of money on the sponsorship. That's the payoff pitch, is that if you work hard and you play for the country, the United States, you're going to make money. These kids that won this year, nobody cares. You're not going to make any money. There's no endorsements out there for you. We don't even know your names. We didn't tune in to your Olympics because you have buddies on the soccer side and other places that said America sucks.
That's the media's fault. That's national media's fault.
You said America sucks, and the Americans said, well, guess what? You suck, and we're not going to tune in.
But Eric, the majority...
That's horrible.
I know, but that's the media. That's because the media chooses to spotlight the very, very few athletes who are the ones that take a knee or the ones who speak out against America. I will bet you anything the majority of American athletes at the Olympics absolutely support the United States, and we're very proud to be there.
I'm not saying anything. The people that came out later in the games, Vic, the ones that wrapped themselves around the flag that said, I'm proud to be an American, it was too little too late for those Olympics to be saved. Would you agree with that? Because we love to see them all. I love to see Durant when he was talking about the men's basketball team. I was like, yes, that's great. I didn't even know that you guys liked the United States. I thought you guys all hated us.
And because then all that's of a sudden, what the media wants you to think.
And then all of a sudden, the men's basketball team wins gold. I'm like, oh, my God, I want to care about this so bad. And then I went and did something else.
And that's why we have to stop, when it comes to national media, trying to divide us. It's all propaganda.
Yeah, it's true. It's so sad. It's so sad.
They choose what they want to show us.
Yeah, I mean, this Brian Flood from Fox News, who wrote an article, he's like, U.S. Olympic hammer thrower Gwen Berry arguably set the tone, Gwen from St. Louis, during the medal ceremony at her trials when she turned her back on the American flag. Could have started some of that, however, and then, of course, soccer team kneeling. He brings up a good point. He's like, quote, here's the problem. The left says they're ashamed of what America represents. The right is ashamed of the athlete's divisive portrayal of the country. You combine the two, and neither side cares if Team USA takes gold, silver, or gets humiliated.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
I mean, I could definitely see that. Although I'm with most people, but I'm still wanting to see everybody win gold if they can.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that we beat
especially
China.
When China is the adversary.
I'm glad that with all of our nonsense and bull, we still beat China. So we can be as jacked up as we want to be, and we'll still kick your ass, China.
It's just nobody watched. No, but they may have watched the medal count, but nobody watched when it came to the game. So that's what we have there. All right. Hey, we're going to take our final break here. If you want to give us a call, you can real quick. Or if you have a question or comment, get it in now. 636-695-2915. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Tabitha Hassell, and Vic Faust of Fox 2. We'll be right back.
This is the Edge Morning Show.
Today, I'm taking it to the streets to give people the good news. Oh, excuse me, hello. I'm Flo from Progressive, and did you know...
No, I'm just waiting for the bus.
So then you have time to hear about how with Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance.
Yeah, if I was interested in talking to you, which I'm not.
Okay, I'll do the talking, and you just check if you can be saving, which is going to be pretty hard to do if you put on your headphones. Okay.
See if you're paying too much for home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
is pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
The Great Gap sales started at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com. Shop styles up to 75% off, plus long weekend deals, including flip-flops from $3, tees and tanks from $6, dresses from $12, and more. Shop it all through July 5th at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com.
Hey, Dan Breen here for someone other than my kid's restaurant, and that's Brian Dawson Roofing. If you're renting, I'll give you permission to tune this out, unless you just like the sound of my voice. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or one of those rental property moguls, sooner or later you're going to need a reputable roofer. That's when you call Brian Dawson. I met Brian on a men's retreat a couple years ago. This man has the expertise and the integrity to take care of all your roofing needs. I've trusted Brian Dawson with my roofing needs. You should too.
You want a great job, and you want it now. Steel and Pipe in Jonesburg is hiring warehouse specialists right now for second and third shifts. Get great pay and awesome benefits like production bonuses, 401k with employer match, and paid holidays, plus medical, dental, vision, and supplementary insurance. Find out more and apply online at steelandpipe.com. Steel and Pipe in Jonesburg is looking for the right people right now. Apply in person or online at steelandpipe.com.
Go camping in style with weekend or full week rentals from Jay's RV in Warrenton. Jay's RV has rentals that sleep 4, 6, or 10 people. They even offer delivery and setup on your campsite, so you don't need a truck to haul it. Whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned RV, or you want to rent an RV for the family get-together, Jay's RV in Warrenton is the place for you. Sales and service the way it should be. Online at jaysrvrepair.com.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. It's the final days to save up to $1,000 on select Sleep Number 360 Smart Beds and adjustable bases, plus special financing. Ends Monday. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Now, back to the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Friend of mine brought up the question which you guys were talking about, Eric and Tabitha. What's the impact going to be switching to the electric car? Where's the power going to come from?
Exactly.
Will we use more coal or natural gas? We're going to switch to a single power platform and trap ourselves.
Exactly.
Go from being reliant on gas to some other power source?
I want to
Really?
sound intelligent when I talk about these issues. I don't. I get it. I don't know what these people know that we don't know that are voting for the changing of what's going on right now. It seems like the United States is trying to break out of some egg that I don't understand what's going on. Like Lindsey Graham knows something that I don't know. Like Mitch McConnell knows something that I don't know. They know what's going on behind the scenes. It is true. If you plug a car in, there has to be an energy source somewhere making energy. Now, does that come from Bagnell Dam? That seems like clean energy. I mean, is it coming from there? Is it coming from a windmill somewhere? That seems like clean energy. I don't know what the full structure is. It's like COVID. No one's telling us what they're doing. We have to try to figure it out. They're just ripping pipelines out all over the place, and it's up to us in this room to go, why are you stopping the construction of a pipeline?
But it's like Vic said, we can't limit ourselves to one energy because guess what? What if another country takes out our power grid? I mean, electricity is not something we can expect to have every day. It's not feasible, in my opinion. I'm going to be dead by 2030, so I guess I really don't care. But it's really stupid that they want to even do this.
I hate to say that, but that's how I feel too. I don't feel like I have enough time on this planet to care.
You don't feel like you have enough time to even make your points.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to rush out. And guess what? It's the end of the show.
What?
Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Tabitha Hassell, Vic Faust, and Fox 2. Thanks so much for joining us for this happy hump day show. You guys make it great. 100.7 The Viper. You can follow us at viperrocks.com. And, of course, share the show. Thanks for all the comments, as always. We'll come back tomorrow. Good news here. Eric's healthy. And, of course, we'll have more of The Edge tomorrow. We'll see you for Fox 2 News at 5 and 9.
Shanny's up next for some, and Dan Bongino for others. Have a great day.